All right, today we're going to dive into a really fundamental shift in how online shopping works. We're talking about moving past the marketplace models that are, let's be honest, kind of broken, and exploring a new system that's actually built for the future.
And look, this isn't just some hot take. It's what happens when you look at a system that's really at its breaking point. The very platforms that were supposed to give us open global trade, well, they've somehow become the biggest bottleneck.
For decades, the internet, what we now call Web2, has been run by these massive platforms that built the roads for online business. But as they've gotten bigger and bigger, the cracks in their foundation have started to show.
And that gets us right to the heart of the issue. See, traditional e-commerce sites, they aren't really open markets. They act more like centralized gatekeepers, standing right in between buyers and sellers and controlling pretty much every part of the interaction.
So you have to ask yourself this question, right? Who really owns the marketplace? Is it the millions of merchants who are creating the products, building their brands, and bringing all the value? Or is it that one single company that just owns the digital real estate where they all have to set up shop?
Let's just break this down for a second. The merchants, they're doing all the heavy lifting. I mean, they're sourcing products, handling inventory, building relationships with customers. But the platforms, they end up taking a huge slice of the pie just by controlling the space. In that world, commerce isn't really open, it's based on getting permission. And we're talking about absolute control here. As you can see, these gatekeepers use secret algorithms to decide if anyone even sees your products. They own your customer data, they get to write all the rules, and yeah, they can shut down your entire business overnight, with or without a good reason.
So the solution isn't just a patch. You need a totally new foundation. And this is where decentralization comes in, not just as some tech buzzword, but as a real structural fix that can rebalance the entire thing. So let's remember what we're moving away from. These were the old rules. You had merchants totally at the mercy of some hidden algorithm that could just tank their business. They had to deal with random restrictions that killed innovation. And the biggest one, they were constantly dependent on the platform, putting their whole livelihood on the line.
The new principles, then, are a direct answer to those old, broken rules. Instead of hidden algorithms, you get transparent code. Instead of being dependent on a platform, you get true merchant ownership. And instead of controlled communication, you get direct interaction between buyers and sellers. Simple as that.
So how does this actually work? Well, it's really a three-step process. First, you get rid of the centralized middlemen. Second, you automate everything with smart contracts. You can think of these like a super smart vending machine, You put in the crypto, the code checks that everything's good, and the product gets released automatically. The rules are literally written in the code. And third, the marketplace rules are enforced by open source code, not by some corporate policy that can change tomorrow.
What's being built here isn't just a better platform. It's way bigger than that. It's a whole new layer for an entirely new way of doing things. We call it de-commerce, or decentralized commerce.
This quote really just nails the whole idea. Think about email. You don't have to ask for permission to send an email from a Gmail account to a Yahoo account, right? They just work together because they're both built on an open protocol. That's exactly what's being built for commerce.
So let's put a pin in it. What is de-commerce? At its heart, it's just economic activity that is direct, totally transparent, and driven by the community itself. And all of this is made possible by Web3, which is basically the next evolution of the internet, one where users, not platforms, have the ownership and control.
And the benefits are pretty clear. You get direct interaction between buyers and sellers, which means much lower fees for merchants, and you get true ownership of your digital stuff and your data. Transactions are also trustless. It's a key idea. It just means you don't have to trust a third party like a bank to do the right thing, because the code itself makes sure the outcome is guaranteed.
And this isn't just some theory either. The real power of building on a protocol is how flexible it is. This model is designed for a huge range of real-world uses, all running on one single open infrastructure.
Yeah, we're talking about so much more than just selling products. This ecosystem can handle physical and digital goods, sure, but also services and subscriptions, rentals and bookings. It can even let entire communities build their own custom marketplaces. The possibilities are huge.
So when you add all this up, what do you get? Well, it's not just another option in a crowded market. This is a new standard for how commerce can and should work online, totally redesigned from the ground up to be fair.
And you might be asking, why does this matter so much right now? Well, it's because the market itself is changing. Users are tired of trading their privacy for convenience. They're starting to demand transparency. Merchants are sick of building their businesses on rented land. They need freedom. And communities, they're looking for ways to be a part of economies that are actually fair to them.
This whole model really comes down to 3 core ideas. Because it's decentralized, there's no single point of control, no single king of the castle.
And because of that, it means it's open for anyone to join in, making it truly permissionless. You don't have to ask anyone for approval to participate.
And since all the rules are baked right into transparent code that anyone can see and verify, the system is and will always be fair by design.
So, we'll just leave you with this thought. For a long time, the rules of commerce were written to benefit the platforms. But what if the next chapter has rules that are written for everyone? That's the future that's being built right now.